broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
As you can see, when Tari leaves the house, the mice will play, and it's great. As you can see, we have Trap Queen playing from the chat. That's what we decided to pick.
Because there was a trap in the episode?
There was.
Yeah.
I've never seen this video before, though, and it's incredible.
Quite crazy. Welcome, guys, to the 100 After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. We're talking Season 3, Episode 6, Bitter Harvest. I am your host, Alexis Torres. Oh, there I am. Oh, that was me.
Yeah.
You can find me all over social media at atorres890. Don't forget to go to iTunes, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV, go all over the internet, find our podcast and our awesome channel, AfterBuzz TV, and rate, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, all that great stuff. But I obviously can't do this alone, and I obviously don't look like Tari, so follow Tari J. Miller at Tari J. That's TAURIJAY. And of course, like I said, can't do this alone. I've got two beautiful people on my left here.
Hello.
Ladies first, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks. I feel special. Hi, guys. You can find me on my blog at alwayseatyourcake.com, on Instagram at alwayseatyourcake, and on Snapchat and Twitter at loveerinlane. Where can we find you?
I'm Ben Bateman. You guys can find me at Ben Bateman Media, Twitter and Instagram. I wore a sweater with my jacket today.
I think it
It's
looks
a
great.
thing, I think.
I don't know why.
thing.
I thought he was wearing suit pajamas, like from How I Met Your Mother suit pajamas,
Suit
but
pajamas?
it looked really good.
It's really weird. It's a shiny suit, but it doesn't really look like it on camera.
It
Sorry,
doesn't.
I
It literally
have
looks
it.
like such a look.
On camera, it looks just like kind of normal. So
Oh, it's very shiny in person.
Yeah.
So I like it's a good thing.
I decided to
Well,
shine
you're the
for this
only
episode.
bright shining beacon of our show today, because this episode was just kind of dark and full of information.
Yeah.
This episode, which is wrong.
So much
We
exposition.
can bring the Trap Queen down this time. Bring it down to a fade.
Just a lot of
I like
Trap
it. Sorry. So we're gonna start obviously with Arcadia. We usually like to keep it sectioned off by location. So we're gonna start in Arcadia, and we get to see Raven kind of being super happy about just life in general. She looks like she's
Really
doing
drugged
well.
out. Yeah.
I don't know about drugged out. We don't really know that yet.
Sort of seems
Yet.
like it.
No, I mean, what did you guys? Okay, well, first of all, before we get like deep into the episode, what did you guys think of the episode?
It's kind of a slow one, I thought.
It was slow. But I
From
didn't
all
really,
the exciting stuff that happened for the
sometimes
past
I don't
5
mind
episodes.
that though,
Yeah.
because it gets kind of like I feel anxious normally when I'm watching because so many people are dying and terrible
Yeah.
things are happening the whole time. I mean, terrible things, and people died this one too. But
Well, yeah.
it was kind of nice to have a slowdown.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, no. I mean, I feel like we've been kind of fast paced on this roller coaster of the 100, and now it's kind of like now we're in that one part where we kind of have to like wait for that climb and then maybe get there.
It wasn't like the episode itself was that slow. Like there was plenty of action. There was a death. I mean, it was a lot happened. It was just like I don't know. What is it? Sometimes
There
the
was
episodes,
there was a lot of dialogue, more than usual, than us just kind of not reacting, but there was a lot. I mean, you said there was action, but I felt like
Yeah.
there was a lot of information being spewed out at us
Yeah,
about
a lot
stuff.
of preparation for action to come. It felt like they're kind of setting the stage for a lot of stuff.
And we also didn't get a lot of Jaha in the beginning. Now we're getting
Yeah.
a lot of Jaha.
Which
this
I
Yeah.
like a lot of Jaha because
Yeah.
he's a full-blown crazy person, and it makes me happy to watch him do things. I don't know
Yeah.
why. He's getting weirder as we go.
This
and I
episode
like it.
this episode was pretty weird for Jaha, and I think for us because we were just kind of like, oh, it has become very real now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the Raven stuff is a little tough because
I was gonna say that's your lady.
yeah,
so how
I
did you
love
feel
Lindsay
about
Morgan.
that?
I mean,
We can get into
I
that.
like that she gets to be on screen more. I think it's great, but
How do you feel about her looking the way that she is now? She's kind of dazed.
she's
kind
kind
of
of dazed.
happy.
Well, it makes me sad because she's on the way out. Like I don't see.
It's all over.
it's
yeah.
all downhill from here.
Like, I mean, that's just my prediction. I just don't think you take a main. If you'll notice, none of the other main characters that matter have taken the pill, and Jasper almost did, but then it would make his story too similar to Raven's.
Yeah.
And they haven't shown any proof that you can like take a pill and come back from it, because Jaha's clearly like somewhat of a villain at this point. So all of those people, the like nameless people who are taking the pill, who inevitably will also suffer the same fate, are just like Sinclair is the other like notable character, and that was the reveal at the end. But as far as Raven goes, I mean, she's a super main character, and like I unfortunately think that this will mean that her story this season will close out with like she will die at some point, because
I could totally see that happening, but I also could see it going the other way, and she ends up being the one that kind of figures out what's really going on.
I mean, I do like that she's questioning, not just kind of going with the flow, which she still kind of is, but she's still kind of like, why does an AI need
it like
to have
ebbs and
version 2?
flows. The questioning, and then being like, oh, but it feels so good, my leg doesn't hurt. And it's all...
Well, so if we talked about Raven is the fact that she's obviously taken I call it the infinity pill because of the symbol that's on there, and that she's feeling better. Obviously, Abby is very cautious of it,
right?
And as soon as she starts to feel better, Allie has decided that she wants to use Raven for her skills and help her get her version 2.
Right.
What do we think? Where do we think that this is going? Because obviously we find out that she's trying to get through all the Arc technology to get to her version 2, which I had no idea was going to be even part of the Arc.
Well, I mean, we definitely found out a lot of crazy stuff here, and I think that they had alluded to this a little bit earlier, the beginning of the season or the end of last season, as far as like Allie and like she's the one who destroyed the world or something like that. I think that bomb had been dropped, no pun intended, at some point. But
wow,
but
that was a good one.
just reminding us again here, and then like with Polaris, which is referred to as Polis. Being the old space station, that reveal at the end there was pretty cool.
It's so funny because I thought that Polis meant like Minneapolis
or Annapolis.
I did too. Yeah, I thought it was.
I thought that's what it was. I didn't realize until
that it's not.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out.
I like being surprised.
Yes. How did you guys feel about finding out there is a section 13 and it's called Polaris? Like, what did you guys like? Do you guys have like? I know that we're not in predictions yet, but what was like your first thought?
Confused about exactly what happened to it and why, but it seems like everyone is. I mean, Allie didn't even know it was a thing, and she seems to know everything that happened.
True.
I mean, so Jaha suggested that there was originally 13 stations, and to get the 12 of them in band together, they shot one of them out of the sky.
How does that make 12 stations band together? They're like, oh, good, you killed that one. Let's do this.
Like we need to protect ourselves as a unit or something.
I think it was one of those like how we were floating people for survival kind of thing. Maybe it was just too many people to have, so they're like, let's just get rid of this one and then connect it. And now
or is it some like thing that they had to shoot them out and make it look like someone else did it? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah,
I've been reading a lot of science fiction books lately, and so I have a lot of weird plots going on in my head.
No, it's great, and that's what I wanted to know, and I want you guys to know, especially in the chat or in the comments later. I want to know what you guys think of this whole situation, because I think it's very interesting, because I don't really know where they're going with the story.
I like it. It's a new twist. It's a little bit different from everything else we've seen.
Yeah.
How do you feel about everybody starting to kind of take communion in the City of Light now at this point? It was so weird watching them get in line and they're just kind of like, okay, I'll take my pill now. Okay, thank you. Like, walk away.
I don't know.
With you and also with you. Like,
there's this thing with television where like
and an extra piece for you. Sorry.
Scripted drama where like you have your A storyline that's going on at all times, that the storyline that like really matters, the one that we all really care about, and then there's often a B and a C storyline for the episode, and like I often feel that Abby's storylines are the B or the C. They're like kind of take it or leave it. And not that the plot that's happening around this isn't important, because it clearly is very important to the story. Right. And now just like Rothenberg said in that interview, they are bringing the Murphy and the Jaha story like forefront, so it's starting to actually join up. But like Abby's crusade to stop Jaha, and like I'm gonna run some tests, and just like I'm the concerned mother character, like I don't know. I'm watching it and I'm just like, I just don't care, Abby. I'm sorry. Like I
kind of felt the same way.
Your scenes are like, I'm just like, it's not.
I feel so bad because I really like that actress too.
Yeah.
But like
I do too.
every time she like starts talking, I'm just like, Abby.
I just don't.
Why are you here?
I cared about Abby a long time ago, and it's been a while since I've cared about anything that she does.
Because we were so for not the children, but the younger folk, and then the adults were just kind of like, no, stop doing what you're doing. We're older than you. And I'm like, and I'm like,
the youth.
Stop.
It's not the act. Like Paige Turco does a good job.
Yeah,
she's amazing.
Yeah, zero complaints there. It's more just like the nature of her concerns are super repetitive. It's like it's the same type of thing all the time. It's like I need to throw the like concerned mother wrench into the situation and take care of things, and everybody's like, Abby, just come off of it, leave me alone. And she's like, no, I have to wave my finger.
But she's not doing it in a very assertive way either. She's just kind of, sort of.
She's just kind of there.
Like,
she's just like, oh, what are you doing? Am I interrupting?
I'm
like,
sure you want to do it?
just go away.
Yeah. She's like, I'm shutting you down. It's like,
oh, I'm so terrified. I'm shaking in my boots.
I'm surprised that Jaha took that so easily. Just like, oh, take my little nuggets.
I think Allie was just really like, just go ahead, let her. But I feel like I don't remember her assistant's name off the top of my head right now, but as soon as he was like, there is hope, I was like, oh, yep, you're totally on the infinity pill. I see it now. Sure.
Yep. But that's not to say that the storyline's irrelevant, because it's not. And she has to, it's like you wouldn't be able to write her character differently, because somebody has to play that role.
Yeah.
Somebody has to get in the way. And if you're it could have been Kane, I guess, and you could have just not have
no, I think his willpower is way too strong.
Yeah,
what did we think about Jaha forgetting about Wells?
That's weird.
Yeah, and I like that they put that in here, because, you know, we've seen this whole kind of light and fluffy, city of light, it's like a retreat inside your brain. But a
retreat I would like to go to.
Like, I know, part of me is like,
relaxing.
Take the pill, take it. But I think that it's interesting that they kind of, because it seemed really positive so far. I mean, weird, but like, there wasn't really a huge downside other than the fact that it's a little cultish, but showing that, you know, it's actually blocking memories and changing personalities.
Yeah, I think when he said that the pill is supposed to stop pain receptors going to your brain, in my brain, let's see, in my head I was thinking, well, wait, if it does that, doesn't that take away other stuff as well?
Right.
So I think that's...
Yeah. So for him, probably the most painful memory is of his son, so it's just completely blocking that.
Mm-hmm. It's so crazy how Allie was just like, your son, remember? And he's like...
And he did a terrible job of covering that up. He's like, yes, my son.
Totally my son,
that
that
guy.
I haven't seen in I don't know how many months.
And nobody's saying yet. They're like, Jaha, why every time do I ask you a question, do you like look over somewhere and like pause and then look back at me? It's like, who are you looking at?
Lord of mercy.
Who are you looking at?
I was a little sad we didn't get to see Lincoln in this episode. People were talking about it in the chat. But I mean, obviously he's in lockup. We can't do anything about that. But I kind of wanted to see.
I miss him a lot.
Are Lincoln and Raven both going to be dead by the end of the season?
No.
Oh, I don't think we can handle two main character deaths. I mean, we had Finn.
Yeah.
But, like,
I'm still not over that either. I can't deal with.
Welcome
more
to the dead Finn train, and I hate it. All aboard the toot fuel train.
Everyone thinks that Lincoln's going to die. Like, everyone's talking about he's going to die, because I know he has another show, but I just don't think he's going to, and I don't know if that's wishful.
He was on Mistresses all last season. I mean,
that's true, and he was able to do both.
People
He's
do
a productive man. He can do this.
Guys,
you can multitask.
Aaron is like, this is happening. He's not leaving.
He's as charming as they come.
Sometimes I Google pictures of him, like, shirtless. I'm not kidding. Like, I just do it, and I sit there, and after like 20 minutes, I'm like, what am I doing?
It's okay. It happens. He has that type of effect on people. Ricky, we're looking at you. We're waiting for you to come in and show the actual abs to Erin so that she can
I sat here and I did the interview with him, and I totally like I was like I'm falling in love with this dude. He's like the most charming person that's ever happened.
The most attractive person.
Did you touch him?
No, I had to stay on my side. It was in the agreement.
There was a barrier. He crossed over. Guys, make a gif of that. Erin, set it on air. She will touch him. So, I guess we can get to the Kane and Abby scene for the lighthouse section. So let's get to the outside. Oh, no, we should talk about Pike. I forgot about that. That was also happening in Arcadia. So Pike obviously has decided to get a crew. Man, he's a great actor. Yes. That Pike was pretty much going to he's trying to find new soil to plant new crops, because the soil that we have is not very good, and of course it's in the middle of a grounder village. So his plan is obviously to get rid of them, and Octavia decides, I'm going to obviously intervene. So what did we think of Octavia just being, we can actually counterintuitive to that one. What do we think about Octavia's scenes so far? I think she's extra badass this time around.
She's the coolest. I mean,
I think she's actually becoming my favorite character.
Yeah,
so far.
She's like, it's like not even fair anymore, honestly. I mean, like with Octavia's scenes when she's on screen, I'm just like, I mean, I have a character on this show.
Yeah.
I love Lindsay Morgan.
Yeah.
Raven's my character.
Yeah.
But like, it's kind of not a fair fight. Like, I mean, Octavia gets she gets to do all the coolest stuff. She's a straight grounder now. She can fight better than anyone. She's like she's just awesome. I watched the trailer for season 3 again, just to catch up on like the things that we should be expecting. And like, I won't say it just because it's not part of the show yet, but like, there's some real cool stuff to look forward to.
No, and I'm super excited. I mean, seeing her kind of like running around trying to save the kid who was walking around while Pike's crew was kind of getting soil samples, and she's sitting underneath the tree, and you see the, I guess, whatever acid goop that was falling, sap from the tree onto her head, and she's just like, and that was it. I was like, I would be screaming in pain from just little tiny drips onto my head, and it was completely taking skin off. Like, that was crazy, and she kept her cool. Yeah, every single time.
Like her, she's one of the only characters too that she figured out kind of what she stood for and who she is, and then stayed that way. Everyone else flip flops all the time and doesn't know what's going on, and she kind of, once she figured out who she was and rounded that corner, she just got better.
Yeah, speaking to your Pike question, there's a really interesting writing decision that they've made for his character that I think it's consistent with television writing, but it's frustrating from an audience point of view, because you can look at Pike in 2 ways. The first way you can look at him is you can think, okay, his lines, like, your choices are, will you fight to keep your people alive or will you starve to death, right? That's like his decision. And if you put that on the table and you really think about that, if you are trying to look out for your tribe, your people, and that you really believe those are the 2 options, because now you've massacred these people, that you're not going to be able to walk in and ask to work with them. If those are your 2 options, what are you going to do? And from that point of view, you could say, okay, I understand he believes what he's doing is right, because but he believes that to be his only option. However, the problem I have with the character is that the writers are trying to make him such sort of a villain that they're not giving him the scenes. Like, he still needs a scene where he's sitting with Bellamy and he says something like, look, Bellamy, I was a teacher and I was on the ground and I learned to survive, and I don't know if what I'm doing is right. I want to think it is. I don't know how to be a chancellor. I just got elected because the people were angry, and I feel horrible killing people, and I think I'm wrong half the time. But what are our options? He needs a scene like that. Cause
I don't think it's going to happen, though.
I don't either. They're really painting him as just a very like Christopher Columbus kind of guy.
A very one-note villain where he's pretty much just saying, these guys are terrible, we need to kill them all.
I know, but like, and that's a problem for me, because I don't feel, he feels way too cardboard of a villain.
Right. But I think that maybe as the season goes on, like I said, there's going to be a grounder scene where it saves him or something or whatever, and it won't like turn him completely, but it will definitely give him some time to be like, okay, maybe. Right. Or, like I said, or they'll just amp it up 10 times worse, and just he'll be so terrible that he'll do something so... I mean, he's already hit that point of just being a terrible human being, but hitting that next point of just, like, he is going to die in a very terrible, horrible way. Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess it just depends on how the 100 writers take it.
I think what makes it tricky for us as viewers, too, is that this whole time that he transformed into this person, we didn't see any of it. It was without us being part of it, and that's when he kind of went through this transformation of, I hate everyone, I hate grounders, but we weren't part of that. So all of a sudden, he's this, like, hard... death monger guy. Yeah. And we never saw that transformation. So it's kind of...
Because, it was when they lost their people on the ground. And then,
Right.
Like, so that's the thing is, it's like, it doesn't mean that if they give us the scene I'm talking about later, it's not going to be relatable. Like, you could still make an impact. It's just that right now, I don't know, these writers are really smart. They've done a very good job of inverting our expectation time and time and time again. Like, I don't usually feel like when I'm watching this, it goes the way that it predictably will go.
Yeah,
but there are still some writing tools that are, like Clark's kind of a drama queen, for instance. Like, she constantly is in these tense situations where she, at the last minute, decides to, like, do something against the grain. Where, if you wouldn't want to write for drama, you could just have her, like, make the right decision quickly and not, like, deliberate until, like, she's holding the knife in a ceremony to decide not to kill someone.
Right.
That's, like, TV writing. So, like, there's parts of me when I see stuff like that, I'm like, all right, there's an effect here, but it makes me not believe these characters as people. It makes them feel like TV characters.
Right.
That's like my complaint.
No, I completely agree. We apologize that the chat isn't working. The stream has been acting up, so we apologize. So don't worry, guys, if we're not reading your comments, it's just because we're trying to catch up. So hang tight there, guys. We obviously get that, and then when we, again, as we're getting to the outside, they decide to take, well, I guess Miller's boo, because I can't remember his name off the top of my head. They all get a crew together. They go down to the village, but before we get to there, Octavia tries to save everyone by going there first and heading on over to warn the villagers.
Right.
As this is happening, they obviously don't trust him because her face is very recognizable, which in my brain I was like, have we actually seen this man before, or is it just by coincidence that he just knows her face? That's what I was trying to remember.
I think it's just by coincidence.
Okay.
From being, death, like a lot of people killing people.
Yeah, I just couldn't remember for the life of me if he was really important or if he was just a character who was just like, I know your face. So.
I could totally be wrong. I don't feel like I know him.
Yeah,
personally.
I don't remember either. So, but yeah, she's technically gotten a little tossed around a little bit from that, but she gets saved by the boy that she saved earlier. And sadly enough, it didn't work out completely the way she wanted it to, but at the same time, I feel like we all kind of saw this coming, that the Grounders were not just going to be like, okay, you're right, we're going to up and leave now, bye.
It was really such a long shot, what she was trying to do. I think she knew that, too. It was just, and the way that she went about, the way she said it when she got there, I don't think was super effective.
Yeah,
just, you need to leave right now.
It's
right
total,
at this moment.
Total fearmonger. Miller's boo is Brian, I think.
Thank you.
Brian.
I remember. Brian.
Oh, Brian.
Yeah, with the red hoodie. Yes. But yeah, I hear that, and like when she shows up and she's just yelling, like she's, you guys are all gonna die, you have to leave right now. Like
it did sound threatening.
Yeah.
That's why he kicks her in the face, because he's like, you threatening me?
But I'm proud of her because she still stood her ground.
Yeah.
I mean, again, no pun intended there. And she toughed it out, and that's what I'm saying, that she was just a bamf this entire episode, even though she technically got caught.
It's funny.
At the same time.
I was
from both ends.
Reading another interview with Rothenberg, and he was talking about how how much the characters have changed since episode 1, and not just the characters, but they're even like the approach to telling these characters' stories. Like looking back at those first couple episodes, he's like, the worst 2 episodes of this entire show are the first 2 episodes. He's like, he said that.
I mean,
he's like, this has changed so much, and it's like I think that if we had made those first 2 episodes a little more in the style of the show the way it is now, the viewership numbers would have been much higher from the beginning, because it's taken people so long to catch on, because the beginning is so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I always tell people, whoever decides like, oh man, I see that you're on a 100 after show, I always hear it's like Game of Thrones but for CW, and it's supposed to be amazing, and this and this and this, and I was like, yeah, it's really great. Just warning you though, it's a little slow in the beginning, but I feel like there are certain shows that you kind of have to just kind of stick through it,
That's why I'm glad that I did not see the first season until after I watched the whole second season.
No.
Because I think that helped. Like, I started watching the second season, I'm like, this show is awesome.
Yeah.
So good. And then I watched the first one and I was like, okay, but it's fine, because I already know that it's good.
You can definitely tell that it was a CW show in the beginning, and then as time went on, you're like, oh, no, it's not. Okay, cool.
That's what I like about it so
up.
much, is because everyone, when I talk to people, I'm like, I love the show CW, and they're like, are you 14? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, it's
so good.
really good. It's dark, and everyone dies all the time. And
Whose transition do you think has been more drastic, Clark or Octavia?
Octavia, for sure. Immediately,
really?
She came from "we're back, bitches" to actually killing people.
Clark is.
I mean, Clark has killed people, but I feel like as a character in her own way, she's gone from this crazy teenager who's now on Earth, now actually taking into a more mature state.
She's like a queen.
Yeah,
I'm saying she's pretty drastic.
She has become the warrior that she is now.
Juan Haida, yeah. I mean, I think Octavia's transition has been more drastic because she's like an opposite, but I mean, Clark's has been crazy.
No, and I'm really proud of where Clark has gotten to her point, because I mean, again, she was the voice of reason, and she still is, but she has a whole different type of knowledge to take with that. So
Clark's just gone through so many up and downs. Like I mean, her character has been all over the place, and I think she's kind of leveled out now to a place that she's in a good headspace.
Yeah.
Which is hard to be in given her circumstances.
I agree, and like we said, the plan didn't go very well. We had Pike's crew come in with Bellamy, and I didn't know what they were going to do with that acid sap. I was very confused, like why that was. I thought they were just going to light it on fire and then just hope for the best.
No idea for a while what was happening. I saw little tiny teepees getting a little on fire.
And some guy like,
and I couldn't figure out why people were overreacting so badly to the smoke. I'm like, you guys, it's fine. Like, just go, just hold your breath, just go.
You guys will be fine.
It took, I think I couldn't really see it very well from where I was sitting. But I'm like, God, they're really overreacting right now.
I was very confused, because in my brain I was like, okay, so they're gonna. I thought it was just flammable. So if anyone gets near it, it's just like you're caught on fire. That's it. But I found it very interesting that it was able to build this smoke that was just poisonous, and I'm like, what's in this sap? I want to just I want to ask Rothenberg.
Did the double duty too of they knew that they wanted the land for farmland, and it just destroyed it.
Yeah.
So it's got to be some kind of radioactive something.
It's like mutation stuff, probably from the bombs that's turned everything.
Something, yeah. That's what I was thinking. I thought it was radiation, but they made it into actual like liquid form, and that you can use it for many different purposes. And I think that's very interesting. But yeah, so we lost 2 people on the crew.
That's what they said.
But I didn't see a second person. Did you?
Monroe and someone. I'm not sure who the second person who died was.
I didn't see it because Monty came back, right?
Monty's fine.
Yeah.
I'd be very sad if Monty was dead.
Yeah. Monty's mom is giving me some weird, shady
Monty
vibes.
mom is fine.
Yeah.
She's gone
Hannah.
off the deep end.
At first when it was coming up, I was kind of like, she's being really weird. And then now that her true colors are slowly showing, I'm kind of like, so is this just what she is? She's just a very hateful person?
I think the farm station folks went through something really rough because all of them have come out the other side not doing well.
I know that the 100 doesn't have flashbacks, but I kind of want flashbacks on the farm station just to see what was going on.
They got worked hard, it looked like.
Because even, again, they're not kids, but our younger folk, like, crew, they went through some crazy stuff with grounders, but they've learned to adapt.
Well, they're also being written to like just not be mindless villains, which is the difference.
Which is true. And but at the same time, I'm like, there has to be some sort of human heart somewhere in there, at least a little bit. Because even when Hannah, Monty's mom, was looking at the kid, she seemed she was okay, but then like immediately jumped into kill him now. We have to fan out. And I'm like,
at first I kind of thought she was going to stop for a minute and be like, no, let's not kill this innocent child, and then she just went hunting.
Yeah, like I have a son, and so. Like, if we just kill this kid, like, what's gonna happen to my kid? If we go to war, like, my kid's gonna die.
Doesn't even think about that. And I love that Kane brought that up. It's like, do you really want your son to die, you know, this way and whatever? And she was just like, no one's gonna die today.
Which doesn't make any sense because you're just going into a village with a bunch of guns.
That's what I thought she was gonna say. She's like, no one's gonna die today except them. The shades. No.
I feel bad for Monty too because I love Monty and I think Monty knows that his mom's a little psycho.
I think it's very interesting that Monty is in the room with everybody because his mom's there, but you can tell he's conflicted, but he can't really like speak his mind. So I don't know if he's gonna be the voice of reason for Bellamy on this part because Kane's not working.
I'm so irritated with Bellamy.
Yeah.
That's gonna take a whole different hour for us to talk about Bellamy and his character.
He's deep under the spell.
But it's weird to me. But we're not gonna get into that. That's gonna take too long. Now we can kind of get into the Lighthouse / Clexa watch at this point, where what's happening with Juan Heda and their whole trial. We find out that Prince Rowan sends a gift to show his loyalty to the 13 clans, and we get Emerson back.
Yeah. Who's like a surprisingly jacked older dude. He definitely, when you saw him before,
I mean, he was in the forest and he was also wearing a lot of armor.
Yeah,
so
I accidentally Googled pictures of his abs as well, and
I mean,
accidentally.
Accidentally.
He looks good. He was very grunty and aggressive in this episode, though, which I understandably.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's definitely far gone as well. But I was trying to figure out what. I know that he was with the Queen, the Ice Queen. Ice Queen. In their tribe or their clan, but I didn't know what he was there for.
Advisor, I think. I think he was the advisor to helping bring the mountain.
We'll get to our next advisor, Mr. Titus.
He was Asgate's advisor.
Yeah, and I was just kind of going,
Ice Queen.
What?
You know, honestly though, as much as Emerson is far gone, he actually had some really valid points.
Yeah.
No, I mean, even though he's not okay, I can't say he's a completely terrible person, but like he's gone through some stuff, he's done some stuff, but I feel like he understands that he did technically lose a lot of folks that he has grown to be a part of, and now he's living it.
It seems like the only group that has tried to like work with another group in this entire story is like, for a brief moment, Kane as leader was trying to get the like Arcadia to work with
and
the
Abby
twins.
too, to a point. Like we were at peace at one point until Pike showed up and just rattled some cages. Apparently,
yeah, it was very close to being at peace. I mean, we went through the whole ceremony that Kane got his little brand and everything.
Little brand.
Everything was good. For a very short amount of time.
Well, so before we move on, I'll do a little bit of Lighthouse, just a little bit, because we have to talk
like
about
a vision in my head every time
just
you
us
say
Lighthouse.
Lighthouse.
Yeah.
The 100 Lighthouse, and it's just like
I
a
see
star
them like
wipe.
popping up out of the sea. Like,
But
For those of you who are wondering what the lighthouse we're getting at, it's a lighthouse watches ships. So
so I love that Tari explained that, and now that's a part of our show, and I think it's great. I really want
That's
shirts that
incredibly
say
creative.
that says that has a lighthouse and has like the 100 on the bottom.
Right.
I think
in
it'd be
little,
great.
I see them in little lifeboats.
And then you
like,
can have like little, they have little ships with their names on it, like Clexa and like Bella. Oh, this would be so cute, guys. We're thinking of shirts.
That's gonna happen.
But we had our Titanic moment in the beginning of the
I
episode.
mean, she's like drawing a picture of her. I don't know.
Draw me like one of your
French girls. I'm like, at least Lexa wasn't naked. That's all I'm saying.
It was. Is that a thing that Clark does that I
Was
forgot
that? Did
about?
you guys
Does
just
she
simultaneously
draw?
quote Titanic just
Yes.
right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Leo.
Her and I are on the same page.
Love me some Leo.
But it was so ridiculous because she was sitting there laying on her side, sleeping, and she's just like, well, I'm gonna be creepy and
So
sketch
weird.
you.
I could not take it seriously. I understand
Hard
what
to
they're going for there, but it just I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I understood that there was an intimate moment, and I get it. It was adorable and whatever, but I was just like, guys, if you haven't seen Titanic, it's exactly like shot for shot there. Just she has her clothes on and she's asleep.
I like that it was awkward when Lexa discovered it. Like, it was not like, oh my
Right.
gosh, that's
Look
so
how
beautiful.
cute.
Thank you.
And
They
she
were
was
both like,
Clark, I'm not finished yet. I'm like,
what do you want me to do
weird.
with this? Like, it was very strange.
Yeah, Lexa's like the really she's like a really bad communicator emotionally, and Clark's like really sensitive.
Oh, it was
and, like,
great. I
and-
was like, what's happening? It looks like from the chat that we are back. We are now on the Lighthouse section.
Yes.
We were, for people who are watching this after our live chat went out for a little bit, but we're in the Lighthouse section. We're talking about Lexa and Clark's Titanic moment in the beginning where Clark is drawing Lexa while she sleeps, and we were talking about how cheesy it was. It was cute, but it was very cheesy.
in the world of Clexa, do we
need it though?
No. In the world of Clexa, because Clexa's like Lexa is super strong. Does Lexa wear the pants in that relationship? Okay,
Well, wait a
does
minute,
she?
no,
Or
no,
is,
okay,
no, she
I
doesn't,
don't know
right?
now.
Because she's like, I'm
no.
beholden to you. I pledge my fealty to you.
Okay, before we move
know.
from that point, actually adding on to your point, do we actually think that Lexa is becoming soft because Clark is in her ear?
Yeah, she's in love with her, clearly.
Well, we know that.
she's definitely
we
in
know
love with her,
that.
but
Is it actually
I don't know
interfering?
I don't know. I can't tell if it's her becoming soft and weak, or if she's actually just seeing that maybe
From a different perspective.
Yeah, that this actually could be something that's effective instead
Okay.
of just like, oh, you killed us, let's kill you.
Right.
Do you guys,
Keep
are you
doing
guys
that.
like wavering to either one, or you're kind of just like, I don't know what's gonna happen?
I don't know.
I think she's becoming soft. I think it's another one of these. How many characters are going to die this season? I mean, maybe Lexa too.
I mean,
No,
it
Lexa's
can
gonna
happen.
die.
I don't think Lexa's going to die. I think she's gonna get hurt pretty bad though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they can't kill all three of the characters that I have in mind.
No.
So
No,
so
okay.
it has to be Lincoln. No, I feel like they're gonna kill all three characters.
Really?
I feel like they're all three. I feel like all three of them are gonna
Dang.
die.
They're
Outta
not.
here. It looks like everyone agrees in the chat that Lexa is becoming soft.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you thought everyone agreed that they're all
All
going
three
to
are
die.
gonna
There's
die.
no
No, I don't think any of our fans want anybody to die.
Death to everybody.
Like that, like especially our main characters.
Yeah.
I think Lex gonna get hurt or almost die in some way, shape, or form, and then she'll have to leave. Or maybe if she does die at the very end, it'll be time for a new commander, whether it's Clark. Or whoever. I think that it's definitely going to be Clark's life dangling for a while,
Yeah.
especially in the next episode, which we'll get to in predictions. But we get pretty much Emerson's trial and them trying to figure out that that there was what was it that it was up to Clark whether to kill him, well, not kill him,
Right.
but torture him until he dies, and then or to spare his life. And of course Clark immediately was like, no, he has to die, he killed my people. And Lexa made a good point that she's like, what happened to
Blood does not.
Blood doesn't have blood, and only when it applies to my people, not to your people.
Exactly,
Yeah.
which was that's why I don't know if she's actually getting soft, because she's still pointing out things of like, okay, Clark, you said this, but now you're saying this. Like, what's
She's
happening?
like
Very valid
trying.
point.
She's like trying really hard to to stick with it, but I think
Yeah.
she's
Even
struggling.
when Emerson and Clark had this whole face off thing, he was speaking the truth in that moment. Like, he actually, I mean, he's a crazy person, but he had some really good points in that I think actually had an effect on her as well. In addition to, of course she's going to listen to Lexa, but I think she had a kind of come to Jesus moment there of like, oh,
Yes, that makes sense.
yes, you're right. I did also kill all of your people and your children. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
I just feel like so much of the time, like with Clark, it's just like in her nature to be super dramatic. She's like, she's super angsty and dramatic. Like she just is.
She's allowed a little bit,
I mean,
just a little bit.
And she's just kind of like heavy-handed, but maybe that's just.
I
But
mean,
like when you're the moral core of a show like that, like it's so hard to not write characters that way. I feel like
agree.
it's so hard because they have to constantly. They're the barometer. If they're the main character, like every decision has to fall on them. They have to be sort of like the balanced opinion, and they can't swing really like. They can't really swing too far in one direction for very long, otherwise it upsets the balance of the show.
Yeah.
But
That's
see, I
other
kind of
people's
like
jobs.
how Lexa goes through her, because she for at least for that side, you know, for those people, she's kind of the moral compass, and she goes through it in a much less dramatic way. I mean, you can see her wrestling with things, but it kind of, you know, she still stays true to who she is, and Clark's just like here and then there, and then she's, it's all over.
But
I mean, I love
why,
Clark, but...
and that's why I think that, you know, as much as I'm not a big person when it comes to ships, crucify me if you want, that I feel like that's why they work together, is because they balance each other out, because the fact that Clark is kind of all over the place but still has beliefs, Lexa is very like, this is what I believe in, if you can show me facts, then I can believe you too.
There's not a lot of focus on ships right now, by the way. I mean,
Which I'm glad.
jumping back to Lighthouse. I mean, we got the kiss, the Kane Abbey on the cheek kiss,
which was, I thought that was adorable, and I love how Kane was like, what was that for?
Yeah.
You are my hope, and I was like, barf.
I like that it was, for him, a very real reaction, and it wasn't, you know, they didn't go into like, oh my gosh, yay. He just kind of looks at her like, what, why are you doing this? And her answer was very strange, but it's fine.
But it was mostly just,
as
soon as she did that, and he was like, what was that for? I was like, something for hope. And she's like, for hope. And I was like, barf.
I wonder what's going to happen. I really wonder what's going to happen with Abby and Jaha and how that's all going to play out. What do you think about... Sorry, just remembered Murphy's face was in the episode for
we're gonna
a
get
second.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get to that because that's right before predictions.
God.
We got to talk about what happened with Emerson before we move on.
Oh
the
God,
fact
she
of
decided
like,
not to kill him.
yeah.
She
So
did
she
him
just
49 times.
which was because that Titus showed up in her room unannounced, and they talked about how he wanted Clark to pretty much convince Lexa to go the other way, and Clark said no, and Emerson then decided to live, and I feel like that was Clark's putting the giant stamp on her death sentence on that one.
But I also think that actually it ended up being a worse punishment for him, because he was kind of on the, you know, my pain ends now, I'm done, and now, now he's forced to live with it forever.
Ooh, and it's great.
I love the line of like, I hope you live forever kind of thing.
Yeah.
I know,
Oh,
Titus was not a fan of that, but I
No.
like that it looked like Emerson kind of felt peace, but at the same time he's like, oh no,
He was
I kind of
growling
floated
a lot.
up.
He was making a lot of sounds. I don't think he felt very peaceful.
What's the
No, like
Titus?
his face at the very end, but I was like, oof.
What's the Titus Clark relationship going to end up with? Like, they seem to be totally at odds, and like they tried to have their moment. They're like, we need to see eye to eye moment, but like I feel like Titus is totally like, you're screwing with the commander. I don't like having you around here. You're taking my spot. Yeah, a little bit, you know.
Yeah, no, and I think that that's why he's intimidated by her, and he wants to get rid of her, which might actually happen.
Yeah.
So then we jump back to where we get Murphy for like a split second.
Like a second, yeah.
But it was intertwined with the fact that we found out about the 13th station, Polis. And now we know what the meaning of Polis is, which is the extra ship, which I'm trying to figure out, which I agree with everyone in the chat. Where's the rest of 13? Did they all die? Are they the grounders? What's happening? I don't know. That was my prediction, which we can actually jump into that now as predictions.
That's such a good
And now,
that was my
your
prediction.
AFTERBUZZ
I like that.
TV.
That they just are the grounders in general.
No, not all of them, but
No, but
like,
that's part of, because I've always wondered kind of where they came, like how there's so many of these people that are so resilient to everything.
That's how I felt, was that either there were people there who were kind of not like cavemen, but they were kind of like scared and didn't know what to do with everything. So why not have people who survived a crash who are like, oh, you guys are our gods now, and then like they have someone who's there's a hierarchy, and whoever does that, and then people below them they reproduce, and then there's more grounders and things like that.
But
Because I
there would
thought,
still have to be people who knew that they were in a ship originally and where they came from.
well, that's why I think they're hiding it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that only people who are part of the, not hierarchy, but you know what I mean, who are just higher up, are hiding it. And that's why they put Murphy there, because they're like, oh, you're Sky Crew, you're part of this, let's put you here and you must tell us everything.
Got it.
Kind of thing. So I think some people believe that this is a thing. There might be conspirators and a bunch of other stuff. I think that's just how the community kind of started.
Which is how
I
they
really like that.
they recognized the infinity symbol when they found Murphy. So maybe that's where the AI was. So yeah, that's
how I feel like everyone kind of broke off because
I was
we
really
have those.
curious about that, is how they knew what the symbol was, because I mean it was like a really big deal and it was immediate.
Yeah, and that's why I think that there's something else that we need to find out later on about what they think about the ship, because obviously when they fell onto this Earth grounders, were like, oh, we must kill them. So like I said, there must be a separate thing, because we already had Mount Weather from people who were just there this whole time, and then there was the people who lived through it, and then there's, like I said,
I'm curious how much earlier 13 came down and everything else.
Yeah, because
it feels like it must have been a lot earlier.
Because Raven didn't know about it. She was like, what? And she's like, what? Probably in her mid to early 20s, I'm assuming. Raven?
Literally no idea how old anybody is.
Little younger? I'm gonna say like 19, 20 years old.
She was supposed to be around the same age as Finn within a year or two. I think a little older.
Finn?
And they're all supposed to be like they all be less than 18 when they got there.
Jeez. Oh, yeah, that's right, because they waited until...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, so they're probably like 18, 19 years old.
So Raven might be like 20.
So I thought she was a little older.
Out.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how these guys have gone through so much, like as like a freshman year in college. Like that's nuts to me.
Yeah, but it's CW.
That's
it's
also true.
CW
yeah,
high
so
school.
we have like we have 30-year-olds playing
everything, even
teenagers.
from what they look like, it's even the sensibilities. Like you're just.
But you have to take into consideration these are technically still children. They're minors.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess not minors, but you know.
I mean, they talk about it all the time. Like Kane and Abby will talk about it.
Raven's 19. That's what they were saying in the chat.
That's weird. I mean that's okay, but it's weird that everyone was so young when this all began.
At least Abby said her line. They're not kids anymore.
Yeah.
That's good for her.
Which I'm so glad they finally figured that out.
Yeah. That she finally said it. My predictions are all kind of rooted in the deaths. And
go for it.
I'm just having a hard time trying to figure out how they save those three characters, because
It's true.
I like with Raven, it would make a lot of sense to put her through this. Her pain comes back, and maybe she dies pain free or something. But like,
I don't know about that, but I get what you mean though.
Like, and then with Lincoln, it also seems like they're winding him out of the show a little bit. I
completely agree with you with that.
I
don't
the same
want it.
feeling.
Yeah.
Right? And then with Lexa, I
think it's up in the air for me.
With Lexa, I'm like, I just thought that last season, like, her storyline was over. Like, I thought she was going to maybe come back. I don't think they're going to give us another ambiguous ending, but I don't think that she's going to stay as, like, one of the main characters still.
I think she's either going to become a very, very pushed back character, or she is going to pass away in some way, shape, or form.
Maybe of the three of them, I guess Lexa's the most likely to die.
No, I actually think Lincoln's actually the most likely to die. Well, I don't want it to happen.
I think Alexa's most likely to die. And that's not just because I love Lincoln. I actually do. I think that it would make a better story, too. Yeah. I mean, Lincoln dying would be very sad, but it's not such a catalyst, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree. But that makes sense.
I definitely think they're going... I mean, it's going to be full-on war. It's going to happen no matter what. It's so inevitable. Yeah. They keep doing little things. As much as they try for peace, it's not going to work.
Yeah, so speaking of full-on war, we have our preview for next week, which is we see Clark kind of dodging bullets, but inside... Hida's like not chambers, but you know what I mean, like that whole area. So I'm trying to figure out who brought guns into and stuff like that, because where is that coming from? It can't be just like knives and stuff. So I'm like, what is that?
Tiny knives.
And then obviously we get to see I'm assuming more Murphy, because I don't know if I saw his face in the trailer, but like we mostly just see Clark trying to pretty much make up for the actions that she's made. And we're going to see, and we definitely get to see Lexa saying that, I'm not going to let my feelings or my emotions get in the way of my duty. And I was like, smart.
Yeah, probably
so
good choice.
She's very clear on the fact that, I mean, I like that she's also pointing out that Titus is making decisions for her.
Yeah.
And I have a bad feeling Titus is going to get kicked out or booted. And he's going to get his revenge some way, somehow. Yeah. Probably not on Lexa, but definitely on Clark.
Fair.
Yeah. But anyway, anything else you guys want to talk about before we go?
No, I think we covered it.
I think we covered it ear to ear.
All right. Thanks, guys, so much for joining us for the 100 After Show. We're sorry about all the crazy... Oh, you did it! Eddie, you son of a gun. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us. Oh, don't forget to go down to iTunes and definitely... This music is so ridiculous. And don't forget to give us 5 stars, 4 stars, because the other stars do not work. And we have a great... And you get a shout-out when you do it. We have one from AVS Fan 91 said, love the 100 and love this podcast. 5 stars. Great job, guys. Best show on AfterBuzz. Always listen to right after the show. A+. Thank you so much.
To you.
Just to you, buddy. Just to you.
Amazing.
Oh, look, you guys, the lyrics are
Oh,
on here.
anybody want to start doing karaoke? Just kidding. Again, thanks guys so much. Don't forget to go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Definitely leave some comments, thumbs up. Don't forget to share the video. Tell all the cast and writers how much you love the after show so that we can get them on here. Because we're definitely trying to get some guests for this coming season.
Tweet Lindsay Morgan. Just tweet
all
Lindsay
the time.
Morgan.
Mostly Lincoln too. But guys, where can these beautiful fans find you, Erin?
I'm sorry, I can't stop.
It's so good. I'm gonna start crying.
I want to sing. This song meant a lot to me.
It's great.
Growing up. You can find me on my blog at alwayseatyourcake.com, on Instagram at alwayseatyourcake, and Twitter and Snapchat at loveerinlane. I want to sing so bad.
Wait for the end. Just wait. We'll get there. Ben, do it.
Ben Bateman Media, Twitter, Instagram. That's pretty much where you can find me. And my name is also Ben Bateman. So don't cry.
Erin is trying so hard not to belt this note out. Guys, you can find Tari, who will be JY. You can find me all over social media at atorres890. Definitely follow my vlogs that are happening. I have a thing called Hump Day Lunch Hour where I talk to you guys on Wednesdays about random stuff that is happening during the week during my lunch hour in my car. Thanks guys so much for hanging out with us. We're really sorry that you guys missed out if you were watching live. Definitely rewatch the video and put your comments down in the comment section. Have a wonderful time, and as Tari would say, stay grounded. Bye guys.
Bye guys.
Get it, girl. Where's my lighter? Oh, it's too far. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
No.
Oh, I love it so much. Go ahead. Yes. Get it? Wherever you are. So beautiful.
All right, we peaked. Fade us out. Fade us out.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.